Cruises aren't designed for you to have the best experience. They're designed for the ship to make the most money. And unless you know the hidden rules, you're just another name on the list. But the real difference between a just okay cruise and an unforgettable one happens once you're on board in the tiny decisions you don't even realize you're making. Today, I'm sharing the secrets that crew members, seasoned travelers, and insiders already know. Secrets that will change the way you eat, explore, and experience every cruise from here on out. Hey y'all, I'm Evan with Family at Sea, where we help make every cruise unforgettable. On the surface, cruising seems simple. Book your trip, board the ship, and enjoy the ride. But behind the scenes, there's a whole world most travelers never see. And if you don't know what's really happening, you'll miss out on some of the best parts of your cruise without even realizing it. So in today's video, you'll learn what experienced cruisers do differently and how you can use the same moves to have a better trip. The biggest secrets most cruisers miss and how knowing them can upgrade your experience in ways you didn't expect, and the smart decisions that can unlock the best possible cruise without wasting a fortune. If you're ready to cruise smarter, level up your experience, and see what most cruisers never figure out, you're in the right place. If you're ready, I am. Let's go. Let's start with something that cruise lines will never tell you. When you pick an early dining time, whether it's traditional seating or just showing up for my time dining, you're getting a serious advantage. And here's why. The kitchen prepares meals in massive batches, and when service kicks off, the first plates hitting the dining room are the freshest. By the time later diners roll in, some dishes start running low, substitutions sneak in, and the kitchen's just trying to keep up. Choosing an earlier dining time means you're getting the food closer to how the chef intended it, not the rushed, reheated versions that show up later. It's a small move most cruisers don't even think about, but once you've seen the difference, you'll never go back. After you board, one of the first places most cruisers rush is to the buffet. And listen, I get it, you're excited, you're starving, but here's what most people don't realize. On embarkation day, the crew is pulled in 100 different directions, from handling new luggage to helping guests find cabins to managing emergency drills. With so much happening behind the scenes, the kitchens simply don't have the staff available to cook everything fresh. So instead, a lot of what hits the buffet on embarkation day are pre-cooked leftovers from the previous cruise, quickly reheated and rushed out the door just to keep the lines moving. And that's why the buffet food on embarkation day can feel rubbery, soggy, or just plain bland. If you want a better first meal, skip the chaos and head to the main dining room or any smaller venue that's open. You'll taste the difference and start your cruise on a way better note. While we're talking about food, here's something that may change the way you look at your meals on a cruise. Most cruise lines have a food budget of roughly $15 per person per day. That's not just dinner, that's breakfast, lunch, snacks, and desserts all squeezed into a tighter budget than most fast food combos. When you understand how little they have to work with, a lot of things start making sense. Smaller portions, simple ingredients, and why some meals feel like they missed the mark. But it's not all bad news. Knowing this helps you spot when the ship is offering something special like lobster night, so you can make better decisions about when to upgrade to specialty dining and when you should stay in the MDR. Most cruisers think booking a cruise is as simple as picking a ship and a sail date. But here's the truth. If you don't know what to look for, you can easily miss out on better cabins, bonus perks, and even lower prices, all without spending $1 more. The cruise lines aren't going to point you toward the best deals or extra benefits. They'll happily let you pay more than you need to. And that's why I always book through Cruises It. A great travel agent isn't there just to make the booking. They're there to make sure you're getting the best possible experience without missing the perks that most cruisers never even find out about. Cruise rules, promotions, and behind-the-scenes deals are constantly changing, and a great agent helps you stay on top of it all so you don't get stuck paying more than you need to. And the best part, they're not just about saving you from headaches, they know how to hook you up with the good stuff too. We're talking free onboard credit, better cabin locations, exclusive rates, and special perks that you won't find by booking direct. And with their low price guarantee, I can rest easy knowing I'm not leaving any money on the table. It's like they know a guy who knows a guy who once scored a free suite upgrade just because he called at the right time. Total legend, that Tony. If you want someone who actually has your back, click the link in the description if you prefer to book on your own, or call the number on the screen and tell them Evan from Family at Sea sent you. You'll be glad you did. Alright, I know, another buffet secret, but stick with me because this one catches even smart cruisers off guard. Port days are some of the best parts of any cruise, but if you stay on board and hit the buffet, you might notice something feels off, and it's not just your imagination. When the ship is docked, a lot of the kitchen and service crew get a few hours off to go ashore too, which means there's less staff on board running the buffet. At the same time, the kitchens scale back food prep to avoid wasting ingredients on a half-empty ship. In the result, fewer options, less variety, and more recycled dishes that were already prepped earlier in the cruise. The buffet on a port day isn't built for a full crowd. It's a skeleton operation just to keep the lights on. If you're staying on the ship, you'll have a way better meal by heading to the main dining room, a specialty restaurant, or even grabbing something quick from the pool grill instead of defaulting to the buffet. If you spot anything wrong with your cabin, like a broken outlet, a leaking shower, or something missing, don't wait to report it. The earlier you bring it up, the better your chances of getting it handled quickly and completely. And here's why. When you first board, the ship has extra maintenance crews on board. Guest services is fully staffed, and everyone's still focused on getting first impressions right. And those first impressions matter a lot, because when you fill out the surveys at the end of the cruise, what you remember most clearly are the highs and lows from the very beginning. If something's wrong at day one and they fix it fast, you're much more likely to walk away happy. The crew knows that, and that's why small problems usually get prioritized early in the cruise. If you wait a few days, they'll still try to help, but at that point, it's just another minor issue mixed into a long list of routine service calls. So when you get to your cabin, take a few minutes to look around, and if anything's off, say something early while your experience is still fresh and the crew is focused on making a great first impression. When you browse excursions through the cruise line, it's tempting to just pick from the top of the list. The snorkeling tours, the zipline rides, the city bus trips, they're pushing the hardest. But here's the secret. The best excursions usually aren't the ones at the top. They're buried deeper in the listings, sometimes toward the very bottom where the smaller, less mass market options live. Private beach clubs, foodie tours, and cultural experiences, the kind of stuff that actually gives you a better taste of the destination, don't get pushed because they can't handle big crowds. Cruise lines highlight the tours that are the easiest to run in bulk. If you want something more personal and memorable, take the extra few minutes to dig past the obvious picks. Well, now I know what I did wrong last time. And honestly, I usually recommend booking directly with trusted tour operators or using a third-party company. You'll usually find better prices and smaller groups that way. But I get it, a lot of people still prefer to book through the cruise line because they're worried about missing the ship. If that's you, no problem, just make sure you dig a little deeper when you're picking your tour. The best experiences usually aren't the ones they put front and center. And if you do want to book a third-party excursion with the peace of mind of a back-to-ship guarantee, I highly recommend checking out Shore Excursions Group. They offer better options at better prices, so if that sounds like something you're interested in, just click the link in the description below to learn more. If you've ever noticed that service in the main dining room feels a little slower or less personal on a short cruise compared to a longer one, you're not imagining it. On 3 to 5 night sailings, the dining teams are stretched a lot thinner. Short cruises attract more budget-conscious travelers who tend to eat in the free venues instead of paying for specialty restaurants. That means a lot more people flood the main dining room at the same time, but the staffing levels don't increase to match it. Each server team often has more tables to cover, which makes it harder for them to deliver the same personalized service you'd get on a 7-night or longer sailing. It's not that the crew is doing a bad job, they're just handling way more volume than normal. If you're assigned a set dining time, try to arrive a few minutes early so you're one of the first tables seated. And if you're using flexible or my time dining, consider grabbing dinner before 6 p.m. or after 8 p.m. to avoid the rush. A small timing tweak can make a big difference in how smooth and relaxed your meal feels. If you're playing the tables or slots in the casino and wondering why it feels like it takes forever to get a drink, you're not wrong. Dude, I couldn't get a drink to save my life last time I was there. Cocktail servers in the casino are stretched thin, covering huge sections, and you could be sitting there a long time before they swing back around. But the real secret isn't about playing the games, it's about using the bar inside the casino. Casino bars are usually staffed to move faster, and bartenders there tend to pour stronger to keep players happy. They know the casino is a major major moneymaker for the cruise line, and happy players spend more time and money at the tables. If you want faster service and a better drink, skip waiting for the floor servers and head straight to the casino bar. Order directly, tip a buck or two, and you'll have your drink and a better pour in no time. Most cruisers assume cabin stewards are assigned rooms randomly, but that's not really how it works. Cruise ships divide cabins into blocks, and stewards are assigned to manage specific sections. But here's the thing, not all blocks are created equal. Midship balcony cabins, suites, and premium locations tend to be assigned to the most experienced stewards, the ones who know how to deliver 5-star service without being asked. Meanwhile, smaller interior cabins and budget sections are typically assigned to newer or less experienced staff who are still learning the ropes. It's not about paying extra for better service, it's about where your cabin physically is. If you've ever noticed some guests raving about their steward while others had a less glowing experience, this is a big reason why. Another little reminder that location matters not just for convenience, but for the entire experience. Most passengers who don't book an excursion get off the ship, pull out their phones, and head straight for whatever tourist trap pops up first. But if you want a better experience, the kind you'll actually remember, ask the crew where they go when they get time off. Crew members spend months at sea visiting the same ports over and over again. They know which beaches are better, where the food is cheaper and way better, and which places aren't overrun with tourists every day. Here's the thing, they'll usually tell you happily if you just ask politely. Some of the best meals, quietest beaches, and coolest little shops I've ever found came from a quick conversation with a bartender, a steward, or even a crew member running the gangway. And if a crew member steers you toward a hidden gem, handing them a few bucks as a thank you is a simple way to show you appreciate it. It's not expected, but it definitely helps them out, and you'd be surprised how often a small gesture like that turns into even more great information later on. So forget Google. If you want the real local secrets, just ask the people who live this life every day. If you're thinking about treating yourself to a massage or a facial during your cruise, here's something most people don't realize. You'll always get a better deal if you wait. On embarkation day and the first full day at sea, spa prices are usually at their highest because that's when people are excited and willing to pay full price without thinking twice. But as the cruise goes on, the spa starts offering discounts, especially on port days when a lot of passengers are off the ship. You'll see deals like discounted massages, bundled treatments, or free upgrades thrown in just to fill empty spots. If you can be a little flexible with your schedule, you'll get the same luxury treatments just without the premium price tag. And if you really want to stack the deck in your favor, pop into the spa on a port day morning and ask if they have any last minute specials. You might be surprised how much you can save by just waiting a few days. It's easy to get excited when you see a cruise deal that looks almost too good to be true, and sometimes it is. Because while cheap cruises can absolutely be fun, there's a hidden cost most people don't think about. You're more likely to get nickel and dimed once you're on board. Lower upfront prices usually mean the cruise line is making up the difference somewhere else, like higher drink prices, more upcharges for activities, fewer included dining options, and aggressive sales pitches everywhere you turn. You'll also notice the vibe can feel a little different. Cheaper cruises tend to attract rowdier crowds, bigger lines, and sometimes less attentive service because the staff is stretched thinner trying to cover more guests on tighter margins. Now that doesn't mean you shouldn't book a cheaper cruise. Some of my favorite trips have been on budget sailings. You just need to go in with the right expectations. Know that the low fare is just the beginning, and budget a little extra for the stuff you'll actually want once you're on board. Now that you know the insider secrets that most cruisers never figure out, you're already way ahead of the game. Most people board the ship thinking they've planned everything, their dining, their excursions, their spa days, without realizing that a few small moves behind the scenes could make their cruise so much better. They just accept what's handed to them, the rushed buffet food, the crowded dining rooms, the overpriced tours, and they miss out on the best parts of the trip, but not you. Not anymore. You know exactly how to spot the shortcuts, unlock the hidden perks, and cruise smarter than 90% of the people on board. But the bad news is, even smart cruisers can still end up spending way more than they need to if they don't know where the real money traps are. From drink packages to Wi-Fi to short excursions, it's easier than you think to blow your budget without even realizing it. The good news? I've got you covered. In the next video, I'm breaking down the biggest money-saving hacks every cruiser should know, including a few tricks even frequent frequent travelers miss. So click it now and let's make sure you're cruising smarter, saving money, and making every dollar count on your next trip. Guys, as always, thank you for watching, and until next time, may your seas be smooth and your horizons wide. Bon voyage!